These are our adjustments. We adjust the formations, so we have alignment rules. Our kids have to learn these. You know, if our rush is walking off, he makes a rain call. If we roll the secondary, we're going to roll the secondary to the strong safety. The G call is made by the Sam. You know, if he doesn't have a tight end or if he has multiple receivers, like a tray set, uh, our end will move from a 5 to a 7, and that puts our nose in a 2-eye, that G look. Um, our will, if he removes from the box, because we do, like I said, we're multiple with alignment rules based on our coverages. If the will bumps out, he makes a bump call, and he becomes the 2-to-1 waller and allows our safeties to stay up top on that side of the formation, and it moves our mic to like a 0 or a 10 backer. And then we have to teach them that roll outweighs the rain call and bump. So if we get a roll call, and like let's say our rush we were in 44, or for some reason the rush made a roll call. If he hears a roll, excuse me, then that we are going to put that rush back attached to the end of the line of scrimmage. Same thing with that bump call. If the bump happens, it allows that outside linebacker to go back and be a 5 tech on his side and allows us to have an edge setter on that side of the defense. We are a 3-4 defense as a base, weak eagle. We focus on pattern reading. Excuse me. I really like that, especially at the high school level, um, because I think if you can get your quarterback to do that or not let them know what you're in, our coverage is dictated by your routes. Our coverage is dictated by your routes. And it allows us to be multiple in what we do so we can consistently change that picture post snap, not necessarily pre snap versus the offense. So, this is strong for us. So this is a left call. We use colors for coverages. We use colors for coverages. Um, Black for us means that we're playing man. So the corners are going to be 7-by-1 as a base rule with inside leverage on that number one receiver. The free safety and the strong safety, as you can see, are in the box. So they're going to be 8-by-2 off of the end man on line of scrimmage. And then you're going to have the Sam in a 9, the end in a 5, the nose in a heavy shade on that center, your tackles in a 3, and your rush in the 5. And then there's your 2 backers in the B gaps with your Mike and Will. Um, in this situation, so let's say the Z runs a vertical and the Y runs a 5-yard out route. That free safety has to cover down on the Y on the 5-yard out route. If the backs are out of the backfield, they belong to the linebackers. We do add in the strong safety, though, to be accountable to help on the fullback to the flats, back to the weak side here, because that allows our linebackers to play downhill in the box and not have to worry about necessarily covering people out on defense. So now you see that we have flipped our defense here. So the first play you had a left call. So we set our Sam to the tight end. So in this situation, we made a right call and we set our Sam away. You see the Mike, the end, the nose, and the Sam, they're all traveling together. The tackle, the rush, and the will, they're traveling together. And you see our strong safety in this situation is rolled down, okay, in this situation. And it gives us the possibility at time of getting into an 8-man front as well, because we can leave that Sam attached down in a like a 80 backer down over there to the open side of the formation. We teach our strong safety, and all of our kids in defense, we teach them, you got to be able to count to 3. If there's less than 3, it's this. If it's more than 3, it doesn't make sense and it's unbalanced or it's odd. So we need to be able to adjust. So we teach that strong safety. The Z is 1 in this formation, the Y is 2. We teach him that B, or the fullback, if he is on the midpoint or the midline of the defense or to your side, that is 3. If that fullback is away from you, like let's say like you had this look right here, but that B was in like a sniffer look over here towards the end and like a 1-by-1 off that tackle and a slot look, we would not roll this because he would not have 3 to his side, because then that deep back belongs to the linebackers. So he has to be able to count to 3. Okay. So here's a good example of it. Okay. I'm going to jump into some film. We'll go to the end zone view because it's a better angle because it picks up late. Okay, so we got a right call in this situation. Okay, so that number 17 is our Sam right here. So that's our Sam. That's our 5. That's our nose. That's our 3. This is our rush. Okay, so our rush. This is our Will. 3 is our Mike right here. 2 is the free. 12 is the strong safety. Okay, and then there's a receiver out wide, so our corner is in lock out there. That was a game plan adjustment versus these guys to roll this strong safety over on top of the sniffer to help protect the linebackers on the naked boot game. So we that's why you would see 2 and 12 on the same side here. But if you'll see right here, okay, we have everything lined up here, and we are playing into the boundary. So we put our front into the boundary because they put their tight end into the boundary. Like their tight end is right here. He's about to block down on number 43. And they're trying to pull around. So 17 is our Sam trying to get up the field, make the play bounce. The corner, is squeeze. They go squeeze set here, so we're pressing that. They arc with that sniffer. The Mike backer does a great job finding the run through. See that better from this angle right here. But right here, and yes, those are mesh jerseys that we wore for a Friday night varsity football game, like you would wear as a freshman or little league football team. We decided to wear those for a throwback uniform for this night. So one of our different uniform combinations. Don't even get me started on that stuff. But you see the Mike backer finding the run through. You see the Sam trying to get up the field and force the edge, and then the safety is key in that sniffer. Number 12 is, and 2, he overlaps. He kind of overruns 2 here. They shouldn't be necessarily on that same level. 2 should actually be a little deeper, and 12 should be where 2 is. They're kind of backwards in this situation. But trying to get to the edge on toss, and a great play by the Mike backer right there, running through the trash. Okay, go to another play. Okay, so this is the very first play of the season, this past season, versus Pearland. Okay, so we made balls on the hash. Okay, it's a twins look, tight end here. There's your 2 receivers up top. Okay, we made a field call, so that put our Sam to the field. So right now, that's our Sam, that's our end, nose, and Mike. They're to the field. Okay, so it looks like we're in a 4-3 look. Okay, just by our alignment rules. If you go back to the first play that I just showed you, we're in a weak eagle look based on alignment rules. Okay, we're playing what we call black coverage over here because of the split of the receivers. Okay, we're not trapping. Okay, we are playing all of number 2 belongs to the safety, all of 1 belongs to the corner. The Sam is still a run fitter, even though he is to the field. We overlap everybody in our defense. So let me kind of explain what that means. Is we overlap our defensive front with our linebackers. We overlap our linebackers with our safeties, and we overlap our safeties with our corners in how we teach this defense. So we are not expecting corners to make a ton of tackles unless you bring them into the box. Like they are our touchdown save guys. They're robbing the post based on what the flow of the play is, things like that. But you can see our Sam, even when he's removed, plus it's a 2-back set, so we know we got to be heavy run down or run game right here. That we have these guys committed to the box, so we're playing black up top, so it's man for man, man for man. Now the corner in this situation out here is playing what we call a cloud look. They end up doubling this tight end. They shouldn't have doubled the tight end. That tight end should belong to the safety. And this allows the corner to actually be a run fitter and flat defender if it's passed. But as you can see, multiple defense. First play, weak eagle, because we set the front to the tight end. This play, we set it on the hash, and it turns into a 4-3 look, okay, or 4-2-5, however you want to look at it. So there you go.